What is fucking wrong with you? Alright. I love you, technology. Alright. Wow. So we were already learning Pathfinder 2, working on a 14 part adventure series, and running 5 games a week, one every 2 weeks, and playing in a weekly game. But Raiders of the Serpent Sea has dropped today. And so, even though we got a game to prep for tonight, we're going to go ahead and look at this thing. So, we're not going to look at the not the GM's guide. We're not going to look at the actual campaign. So this is a spoiler-free. We're just going to look at the flavor that is in the player's guide. I know the player's guide has been out for a while. I'm gonna lay it out for you honestly. You might think that because I run 2 Odyssey of the Dragonlord games and that I used to be very active in that community and that I love that campaign so much that I, having kickstarted this campaign, know what's going on or have read anything. And I'm going to tell you that this is a blind react because I have not actually looked at any of this stuff. I saw that Brent Knowles was working on it, and I saw that it was the same squad that made Odyssey, and I just gave them my money, and I said, I guess I'll look at it when it's done. Well, it's done, and we're going to look at it. So, here we are. Player's Guide, and it is, let's see, Raiders of the Serpent Seas, Viking-themed, Odyssey-esque adventure. Just the Player's Guide is apparently 182 pages long. Am I seeing that right? Yes, just the Player's Guide is 82 pages long. It's 82 pages long. Okay. So about this book, Player's Guide to Raiders of the Serpent Sea. The guide will provide you with everything you need to know to become a hero in the lands of Grimnir. Hope I'm saying that right. Raiders of the Serpent Sea is strongly influenced by Norse mythology and the histories of the Vikings. Many tales from ancient sources, as well as more recent depictions in popular media, have inspired this campaign. Yet, this world is not our world. Thor and Odin do not wander the lands, nor will your party sit at a feasting hall across from Ragnar, Lodbrok, Eric the Red, or Nut the Great. This is a fantasy world where you will encounter people, creatures, and gods that will be familiar to those who admire Norse mythology. So this is, again, the same take that they had in Odyssey of the Dragonlords, but like for Vikings. One of the things that I liked about Odyssey of the Dragonlords is I wanted to run a Greek-themed campaign, but I didn't want to be held accountable by smart people, right? Oh, thank you, Falcon Forge. I live in constant fear of smart people, and the internet has only made more smart people more accessible and made it easier for them to find me. I don't want to run a game where like I'm like, and then Apollo does this, and then like some Greek history major is like, well, actually, like so. When I saw that there was a game that was kind of like ancient Greece but not ancient Greece, I jumped all over that. And then of course, WotC announced the Theros setting about a year after that, I think, give or take, and we were just able to kind of mash it all together, have a good time, that sort of thing. So there are plenty of Viking campaigns that have been released. There are plenty of Viking campaigns that will be released. Um, this is the Viking campaign that I plan to run. One, because I trust the team that made it, because I think Odyssey is a fantastic adventure. And two, I want to run a good Viking game, and I don't want to be held back by any well actuallys or Viking human encyclopedias or anything like that. So I want the Viking flavor without any of the commitment to being smart about Vikings. So there you go. All right. So anyways, that's my disclaimer. The stories of Vikings have always lived large in our imaginations, and there are as many flavors of these stories as there are storytellers. We imagine that these seafaring raiders lived as large in their world as they do in our stories, that they were boastful in the face of danger and took tremendous risks to secure their fortunes, fates, and place in history. I have long been enamored with these people who sailed the seas of the hardy North. My initial interest perhaps stemmed from a different source than many others. It was a volcanic island that brought me to the Vikings. Surtsey surfaced in the 60s, south of Iceland, in the Vestmannaeyjar archipelago. The idea that in our time, with the geography of the world feeling so static and unchanging to me, new masses of land might be created, that parts of the world would be formed before our eyes, was beyond fascinating. I began devouring the sagas, legends, and myths of Iceland, and even wrote a few fantasy stories set in a mythical world inspired in part by what I learned. This was a long time ago. A couple years passed, I was finally able to travel to Iceland and explore it myself, and though I never made it to Surtsey, I did stay on the island Hemey. The rough way, I guess I'm going to have to take a Icelandic course on my Duolingo here to get these pronunciations better. The rough, wave-tossed journey made me aware that I would be a rather pathetic Viking. But I was immediately enamored with that rugged, windy place. It was perhaps there that I first began to think about this book, specifically. Vikings are much beloved, from the early stories and myths to their depictions in popular comics, and even to the somewhat more historically accurate shows streaming across all the popular platforms. We know a lot about them, but there are also gaps in our knowledge, room enough for our imaginations to fill. It is only natural that the core themes of exploration, bravery, sacrifice, and fate become the backbone of a role-playing fantasy campaign. It has been an exciting journey so far to build this fantasy world for the 5th edition of the world's greatest role-playing game. Big wink right there, because you can't say Dungeons & Dragons at the time that he wrote this. Grimnir has many layers. Its core is set in the early myths of the Vikings, but it is also heavily inspired by all the various ways we have come to admire these people. There are even pieces of my own stories, written and published over the decades, and my earlier campaigns to be found herein. Brent Knowles, Summer 2021. All right. So, yes, exactly. I used to run Star Wars tabletop, and I went out of my way to learn a lot about Star Wars lore. I'm hesitant to run it again because I don't know where the lore is at anymore, given all the changes with Disney and stuff. All right, let's get into it. Chapter 1, The World of Grimnir. Let's see. Inspired by the stories told of Viking seafarers and the myths and narratives important to these explorers, this book will help you build a rich Viking-themed world. Got it. The campaign is designed for the 5th edition of the world's greatest role-playing game. Wonder what that is. It starts with 4 to 6 heroes of first level. All right. It will take them on a journey across storm-tossed seas, through haunted forest, into ancient ruins, and towards lands never explored by the living, as they journey to 16th level or even higher. Brent, you told me it wasn't gonna go to 20. Oh my god. Okay. Let's keep going. I'm not going to turn back now, but I'm tempted. While sailing the Serpent seas, they may witness vast herds of furred beasts stampeding along icy coastlines, volcanoes rising unexpectedly to birth new islands before their eyes, or inland forests quivering and shaking as giants prepare raiding parties of their own. Raiders of the Serpent Sea has a primary epic narrative divided into 4 main acts, but with numerous opportunities for players to build longships. Okay, that's a weird one to put out front. Conquer settlements, and even assemble their own clan to stand against their foes at the end of the world. I'm assuming there's a lot of downtime in this campaign. In the beginning, a fate rune is cast by the Raider Seers, known as the Volv, for every soul braving the world of Grimnir. Each hero must embrace that fate to save this world during the inevitable final battle, even if the sacrifices they must make are cruel, unfair, and devastating. Well, that does sound like Odyssey, doesn't it? Heroes in Grimnir persevere against overwhelming odds and devastating setbacks. Only the bold shall succeed, and yet, even if the world is saved, how the heroes save it forever alters the future. Okay, so yeah, it's Viking Odyssey. Got it. All right. Let's see. History of Grimnir. I don't need all this lore stuff yet. The Rise of the Stone Court. Beautiful art. Some words. Oh, what we got here? Show big map. Okay, looks like they got the same map guy. That's cool. Look, there's these little clouds. You know what's south of these clouds? Thylea. Thylea is south of these clouds. Anyways, I like that the player map has no real labels on it. There is Nowhere and there is Kekel. And then up there it says Well of Wisdom. I'm only seeing 3 places on the player map. That is kind of exciting. Does it mean that you're starting in like a tribe that does, or a clan that doesn't know anything about the world? That's kind of cool. All right, you got the western shores, the eastern shores, the actual Serpent Sea, and then just a bunch of squiggly stuff everywhere. All right. I should also add that even though this book was written for, quote-unquote, the world's greatest role-playing game, whatever game that is, I will be running it for Pathfinder 2. So everything we're looking at in this player's guide, it's very cool, I guess, for 5th edition, but a lot of it will probably not make it to the table because I'm just going to run this as a Pathfinder 2e game. I'm here for the plot, baby. I'm reading this for the articles, but also the art. I don't really care for the 5e mechanics. And after the fiasco of Sleeping Drought and a lot of the other busted homebrew from Odyssey, I'm not super excited about trying to balance a bunch of homebrew again. So, yeah. How does conversion work? From what I've been reading, you figure out what level the thing is, and then you just go and you do the algebra homework that you're supposed to do for Pathfinder 2, and then it spits out an encounter, basically. Any 5e monsters, there's already conversion guides out there to cover turning 5e monsters into Pathfinder monsters. As far as turning custom homebrew monsters, sadly, we will have to take all of the custom monsters from this campaign and convert them into Pathfinder 2 monsters. Yeah. All right, let's dig in. Oh, hey, what's up, Dom? Let's see. Rise of the Witch King. The pieces of the Rainbow Spear. Oh, that sounds dope. I probably should have read the lore. Have been scattered, hidden, and protected by the Raider clans since those early days. The Volve have prophesied that if the spear were ever to be made whole again, it shall signal Grimnir's violent end. In before some group just puts their piece of the Rainbow Spear in a bag of holding and trivializes the entire campaign. This has not deterred some from attempting the feat. The Raider territories are not only mortal dominions in Grimnir, they are also the Baindur kingdoms. These peoples build their towns deep within the forests and hills of various islands dotting the Serpent Seas. They have learned not to invite the attention of the raiders, for the most part kept to themselves. 3 centuries ago, a wanderer emerged from the ironwood forests that grow along the northern shores of Turnfjall. Giant-like in stature and covered completely in living armor harvested from those eldritch trees, he called himself the Witch King and forced the Byandur to bend their knee to him. He united them and waged war upon the raiders. It became clear that his intent was to recover the pieces of the spear, and through many bloody skirmishes, he claimed several. Only by uniting were the raider clans able to overthrow the Witch King and end his influence on the Byandur. Baindur? In doing so, they seriously diminished the power that those inner kingdoms once wielded. The raiders called this first coming together the Gathering, but not a magical one, because that is copyrighted. And though the clans are still at strife with one another, the Gathering is held every 8th year. It is one of the most important elements holding Raider society together. The Witch King did not fall, however. His life has been prolonged by magic, and he continues to thwart the intentions of the Raiders, though he has never come quite so close to victory as he did 3 centuries past. Today he exerts his influence through his Ironwood witches, as they still attempt to unite the Rainbow Spear. Gradually, year by year, more and more of the pieces have disappeared from the raiders and found their way to the Witch King. ... I imagine that this campaign is based around the Rainbow Spear MacGuffins. So I like that. I like MacGuffins. Let's see. Traveling to Grimnir. I'm just going to skip around here. Not all who walk the lands of Grimnir arrived during the exodus from the Lost Lands in the past, when Byoda briefly wielded... I hope to God there's a pronunciation guide for this campaign. In the past, when Byoda... let's see. You know what? We'll take an Icelandic course later. Wielded the Rainbow Spear, she summoned numerous creatures that have now long made this world their home. As well, if rumors are to be believed, the portions of the incomplete spear still embedded on the Turnfjall flares to life whenever it desires to drag others to Grimnir. Okay, so again, Norse Odyssey. Got it. Some are beasts to be feared, fought, and slain. Others are newcomers. So we could do an isekai of this. No. We shouldn't do an isekai of this. Over the centuries, many have arrived, telling a tale of being drawn from their own world in a flash of light, only to find themselves alone on a coast of jagged black rock, or stuck waist deep in a snow dune, or suddenly fighting for their life in the waters of the frigid Serpent seas. How many countless others have not lived long enough to tell this tale? How many were trapped in some desolate wilderness, lingering days or even weeks until the cold, the hunger, or the jagged teeth of a prowling beast ended their miserable life? That is a story to worry any soul on a cold winter's evening. But of those that survive, most become raiders like any other. They couple and have children, and over time their origins are forgotten. A story told by their descendants to entertain guests, but perhaps not truly believed. A bridge between worlds, Grimnir may be found in its own plane of existence, and the Rainbow Spear allows any adventure setting to connect to it. Works for me. I love demi-planes. Damn. Immediately I'm like, it would be dope as hell to have modern people get sucked into a Viking setting. That'd be fucking cool as hell. Oh well. The powers of Grimnir. Grimnir is vibrant, powerful, and ever-changing. Here are the gods. We got Boda. I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce any of these correctly. Boda, though long dead, this last of the Jotun was exerted Though long dead, this last of the Jotun has exerted considerable, a bit indirect influence on the inhabitants of Grimnir. Mortals know a world can be destroyed and that it takes courage to stop it from happening. Fear of Byoda and Jotun have kept the people vigilant and watchful. Anything that reminds them of the Jotun is swiftly destroyed. Sounds a little racist. Hel, Lady of Death. Well, good for you, Hel. They told me that none of the official gods were going to be in here, but sure. Thunir's lover of old, the actual Hel, resides in the underworld. She is worshipped by few, but feared by many. Yet, she is not a cruel being. Hel simply hates to see suffering, but her compassion does not mean she tries to help the living. Instead, she sees the underworld as a refuge where none feel pain ever again. The more that join her in the underworld, the less suffering remains in the mortal world. She reminds me of another lady that was in charge of the underworld. A lack of suffering is not the same as happiness. It is said by those who claim to have found the underworld and returned to Grimnir to tell the tale, that Hel is consumed by grief, forever mourning her lost love, Thonir. Thonir, son of Aldine? Okay. Thonir, son of Aldine, was one of the Vanir. Okay, so we got Vanir too. Though tricked into betraying his people, he redeemed himself by slaying Byoda. He is believed to be the ruler of the Halls of the Slain, located in the heavens above Grimnir, and is the custodian of the winged women who transport the bravest of dead raiders into heaven. Okay. Mirgal. Mirgal was a Vanir that betrayed his own people in a quest for power. Whilst it was not his intention, his magic was used by Aldine to create Grimnir. Though he is dead, Grimnir reflects the man Mirgol was. Oh, okay. Is that all the gods? I hope so. I don't want to have to learn a lot of new stuff. I went too far. Oh no. Where? Page up? Maybe? Oh no. Hold on. There we go. I guess that's all the gods. It says there's some more here. Then there's the Stone Court. Aldine, the goddess of wisdom. Nark, the god of the fields. Eden, or I'm assuming Eden, the goddess of forges. Nat, the goddess of contest. Luta, the goddess of will. Palter, the god of hope. And Vani, the god of battle. Okay. The Stone Court. The people of Grimnir worship the Vanir and their offsprings as gods. Though divine, they are currently trapped as living statues and unable to directly interfere with the world. They may only influence it. Most raiders have an effigy of at least one of these Stone Court gods woven from cloth or wool that sit near their hearth. When traveling, the family take the effigy with them, believing it allows their favored god to intervene on their behalf when needed. The Stone Court itself sits atop Tjörnfjall. The area consists of a massive lake that, since the god's misfortune, has become rumored as a home for numerous monsters, discouraging exploration. Only a few raider expeditions have been sent to find it in the past few generations. None have returned. Oh, okay, I guess we have to learn about these other gods too. We'll learn about them later. Let's keep going. Page down. Oh, we got a halfling mushroom. A mushroom halfling. Okay. The Afterlife. The dead that burn. To die with a weapon in hand is the near zealous goal of every proud raider. I sure hope so. I hope we go through 50 different raiders in our campaign from 1 to level 16. It is known that those that are battle slain and then offered to the night sky with the burning of a pyre will be taken to the halls of the slain. It is said that the Valkyrie themselves see the column of corpse smoke, and they rush from the heavens to latch upon the dead hero and ascend with them. All raiders dream of this moment and of their afterlife in the halls, where they feast and battle one another till the day Ragnarok arrives, and they return to fight alongside their living descendants against the forces of ruin. I wonder, if you die, do you get your character back at the end of the campaign? Or, does your character come back at the end of the campaign as, an ally? That'd be a badass mechanic, you know what I'm saying? The reward for recklessly burning through a bunch of characters and dying well is that you actually get them as reinforcements during the end game. That would be awesome. Let's see. The dead in the dirt. Raiders that die of natural causes, plague or the like, are buried in the earth like little babies. It is believed that the Lady of the Dead, Hell, who is not actually Hell but is definitely Hell, claims those departed. Nightly she climbs atop a 3-legged undead horse called Hellhest. I'm into that shit. And rides the world in search of these unworthy dead. Once found, she grasps the unfortunate corpse and rides hard into the earth, to the secret caverns deep within Grimnir that make up the underworld. I don't know what it is. I got a thing for goddesses of death. I don't know. It's just the dead that drown. Warfare at sea comes with an additional risk, the worst of all deaths. The raiders believe is to fall into the sea. The living will try hard to recover the bodies of their fallen allies from the frigid waters of the Serpent Sea, so that they may be honored properly. Otherwise, they become corpse food for the great serpent that lingers in the deepest waters of the sea, and are denied an afterlife entirely. Instead, they return as smaller sea snakes that are known to foul fisher nets or drag children from the seashore. That's pretty dope. I'm going to be honest. I think that's pretty cool. The hidden world. Among all people of Grimnir, there is a belief in a magical world that exists just out of sight. Fey creatures are thought to occupy this parallel world, and some spellcasters insist they draw their power from it. In addition, creatures known as tomatoes. Creatures known as Tomti, are said to adopt farmers, protect them, and even assist them with their chores on their farmstead. Though seldom seen, their presence is often felt, and the family with a stalwart Tomten tends to thrive. Is a Tomten the singular of a Tomte? I'm going to say yes. It's not. It can't be a typo. The settlers, the raiders. The raiders are pragmatic people. They're the Viking people. Let's keep going. What else we got? About thralls, the Serpent Seas, Turnfjall, the Fang Sands, the Bandior Kingdoms, factions of Grimnir. I got, another game I got to prep tonight, so I'm just kind of blazing through this right now. Let's see. Oh, damn, look at Drift Hall. That's dope. Okay. So, I wonder if... No. Okay. I was just wondering if, you could make the factions into backgrounds for your character. Kind of cool. Alright. Oh, look at that cool dude. Living Ironwood armor protects the Witch King as he leads the witches against the raiders. As someone that's really bad at coming up with names, I don't care if this guy's name is the Witch King and he's in charge of witches. Keeps it simple, you know what I'm saying? Why come up with a bunch of dumbass names for stuff? This guy is the king of witches, hence the Witch King. It's pretty basic. Witches of the Ironwood, only on the clearest days along the northern coast of Tjernfjall. A great forest of iron leaf trees can be seen many miles inland, rising among the steep rock walls of the near impenetrable mountain ranges. This forest of ironheart trees has long been avoided by raiders, with stories of strange creatures moving through its deep, dark woods. This is the Ironwood Forest, and is home to the Witch King and his red-robed cohort of witches. Some say the witches sacrifice children to the trees through gruesome rituals. Others insist that the witches themselves grow from the Ironheart trees, and if those trees are ever discovered outside the Ironwood itself, they must be cut down, and swiftly. What is known for certain is that during the height of the storm season, on any night when the moon is full, all raiders keep those they love safe inside their lodges. For that is when the witch party rides their strange beast, with the Witch King at the head of the terrible procession. That's cool. They got like a wild hunt situation going on. The red robes flutter behind them like blood trails as their dread hunting party descends upon a helpless homestead, slaughtering every man, woman, child, and beast. Alright. It looks like they got oaths, just like Odyssey. Let's see. Oaths may be sworn for a variety of reasons, though most are only judged by other mortals. Some catch the ears of the gods or primal powers and become ever more binding. However, for both mortal and immortal, the bending of words, the outwitting of a rival through a cleverly worded oath, is respected and anticipated. Oath of Duty. In case of severe judgment, a raider might be forced to agree to an oath of duty to their victim or the victim's family. Such an oath might be taken voluntarily, either to repay a debt or to express appreciation. At the naming of the oath, both parties agree to the length of time for which the oath holds. Failure to take or honor the oath results in the transgressor suffering the curse of the exile. Oath of Fellowship. This is all pretty familiar terrain here. In times of trouble, even rival clans must come together. When needed, a group will swear fellowship to one another and promise to defend each other, share glory and spoils, and never act against the others, at least while the term of the fellowships are valid. Failure to uphold this oath results in the transgressor becoming afflicted with the curse of the exile. Oath of Retribution, Words of Power, Flesh has Power, Curses. Here we go. If you have a Curse of the Exile, this curse is enacted by other mortals. The cursed raider becomes marked by all other raiders who must now ignore them. The curse will be treated as though they have already died. No one will shelter, feed, or defend them. This curse guarantees exile or a death, a slow one. It honestly doesn't sound that bad. Curse of Failed Promises. A broken vow can often lead to the disapproval of the stone court itself. The cursed immediately suffers one permanent level of 5th edition exhaustion. Oh, that's rough. Able to only be removed by casting a greater restoration spell. Boo. Boo! What kind of curse from the gods is it? If a greater restoration takes it away, what are you doing? Oh, they have to cast it 8 days in a row. I mean, that's kind of expensive, I guess. And a sacrifice of flesh, no smaller than a finger. Unless removed, another level of exhaustion is gained every 8 days. Oh, damn. A character that... yeah, 40 days to live. A character that dies from this curse arises as a Draugr, under the control of the Game Master. Okay, well, that's kind of cool. I still don't think you should be able to, like, cure it so easily. I don't know. Let's see. What do we got over here? I shall make a character with a dozen siblings. Each time he dies, a sibling appears. Magnus told me of you and your exploits. I feel as though I already know you already. Worry not. We can proceed as though nothing has changed. I can see it now. Everyone invests in floaties on their belts to keep their bodies buoyant. Sadly, I know some players that would immediately think they were brilliant to come up with that idea. I'm excited for the Fae themes in this game. Cancel that game and read the... Oh, come on, man. You know I would if I could. If they ignore me and then I could just steal stuff, they will not know how I did it. Greater Restoration isn't a small thing. You're too used to high-level play. This looks juicy already. Yep. Agree. Agreed. Let's see. Mist of Grimnir, the Wild World. I don't need any more of this lore. Let's get into the meat. Alright. Creating a hero. Grimnir settlers. They're Vikings. They got Viking names. Don't be an asshole. Just give your guy a Viking name. Make your DM happy. It's pretty simple. Tools of... Oh, sorry. Grimnir newcomers. If you want to isekai, you can. But you should probably just make a fucking Viking because it's a Viking campaign. Okay. Tools of the trade. Tools of the raiders. In general, the world of Grimnir has many of the items one would expect to see in a fantasy setting. However, unique circumstances of the world's creation and the power dynamic between the raiders and the Biandor have resulted in a few differences. Raider weapons. The world of Grimnir is rich in many metals, but the raiders lost much of their mining and smithing knowledge during the Exodus. Deposits of high-quality iron, which also tend to be found primarily in past Biandor territory, which has been deleted, or in lands currently occupied by the kingdoms. Consequently, many raider weapons are made of metal that is inferior to the steel-edged weapons of the Biandor, or newcomers to the world. That said, most Jarls and their seconds have obtained higher quality weapons through raids, and, at the Game Master's discretion, these weapons can be purchased in stores at an increased cost. Nope. There are many reasons why the raiders pillage Biandor settlements, but access to their metals and weapons is high on the list. Here, inferior optional rule. An attack roll of 1 in battle against an opponent using a higher quality weapon means that your non-magical inferior weapon breaks. Well, we're definitely using that. Let's see. Sax. This is a wind instrument. No, brass? No, wait, it's a short sword. This short sword has a slashing edge, and though these weapons are simply constructed, they are versatile and used by many raiders as their secondary weapon. And the Skegox. This versatile hand axe is a wide-cutting surface suitable for use in battle, but the haft can be gripped directly behind the head to work with wood. Additionally, the weapon can be turned over to strike enemies with the hammer end. Sign me up! Raider armor. They have the Gambeson. I don't really need to know all this stuff. We're going to be using Pathfinder 2. Helmets. They don't do anything mechanically. Cool. Ironwood. Among the most prized weapons and armor are those crafted from a lightweight but unnaturally strong material known as ironwood. The name is a misnomer, for ironwood is harvested from the leaves of the mysterious ironheart trees that grow in the deep woods of the inner continent. but have been increasingly found far from their normal habitat, as mentioned previously. These leaves are worked much like iron, and most weapons and armor have an ironwood variant. Though prized for their durability, some raiders avoid the use of these items, fearing that they are corrupted because the Ironheart trees are associated with the dread Witch King and his Ironwood witches. Ironwood weapons are generally not able to be purchased, they must be found. Or made. Alright, that sounds cool. Food. The palette of the raiders is diverse, and each clan has their own specialties, but for all you Skyrim fans, the first food they list is a cheese wedge. Fried herring, goat stew, mustard cod, oats porridge, roast salmon, trout. Apparently they use silver and copper as their currency. That's good to know. Mead. A strong alcoholic drink brewed from honey and whatever herbs. We got honey water mead, whale mead. Mother's brew horn mead of the twins. Okay. Oh, wait, what's this? Glory. Glory is gathered by defeating powerful foes and taking plunder. The greater your glory, the more respect others, even your enemies, show you. Glory may be lost by not paying a debt or wrongly accusing another of a crime. Most individuals within Raider society strive towards individual glory, gaining the respect, admiration, and, at times, the fear of others. They focus primarily on the individual accomplishments, even when it comes at a cost to their own companions. However, there is an ideal among raiders, an example set during the Exodus at the world's birthing, the Vanir. These legendary heroes were bound together by oaths, deeds, and friendship. They shared their glory. If such a group of heroes ever rose again and fought the valiant fight, theirs might become a power that the world has not known for centuries. The perks and drawbacks of great glory are summarized in the following table. Oh, okay. We're making promises over here. Mechanical promises, huh? Alright, let's keep going. Boasting is a special action that you could do in this campaign. As an action, you may wager your glory points to undertake a boast. Boasting is a persuasion or intimidation check fueled by your popularity and the respect others give to you. Select the number of glory points you wish to wager, and these will be applied as a bonus to the persuasion or intimidation. However, if you fail the check, you lose 1 glory point. If you roll a natural 1, you lose all the glory points you wagered. This table only covers glory points up to 20. And you can wager them? Like, how the fuck do you get them? By, like, boasting? Is that the only way? Let's see. Boasting. What do you get for passing? Boasting. Select a number. Oh, okay. So boasting, it risks your reputation, but, like, it doesn't give you any. It just gives you a bonus to your persuasion or intimidation check. That's kind of weird. Fellowship. Glory is held by the individual and should be tracked by each player. However, if the Oath of Fellowship has been sworn, each hero's glory is now connected to the others. Anytime a member of the Fellowship loses glory, all other members lose 1 glory point immediately. However, the Fellowship also protects the boaster. When they lose a boast, their glory cannot be reduced below the lowest glory level of the other members after the previously mentioned deduction. This makes wagering glory during a boast less risky. Alright. I just don't understand why I would care that much about a +1 or a +2 to my boasting. I don't know. Alright. Then, just like Odyssey, it's got epic backgrounds. I'm assuming that these are then written into the written adventure so that people will... yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so you probably don't want to have overlaps on these. And then your epic background is directly woven into the story. One of the best parts of Odyssey, in my opinion, is that it attaches the players to the story. It makes it so, like, the people, you aren't just playing through a written adventure to see what the written adventure is like. The written adventure is about you because you agreed to be a part of the adventure, and I think that's a really cool system. During character creation, players may select one of the epic backgrounds for this campaign instead of the standard backgrounds in the player's guide. Interesting. These enhanced backgrounds connect to the main storyline and provide additional subplots for the heroes to explore. It is recommended that they are used instead of standard backgrounds. Each player should choose one of the backgrounds described in the section. This influences the hero's mythic connection to Grimnir, though the use of fate runes, new runes and powers, may be revealed at particular moments as the hero resolves the conflicts underlying their background. Okay. Epic tasks and goals. Each background has specific endeavors for the hero to complete. Heroic tasks will be completed by the end of Raiders of the Serpent Sea campaign. Epic goals are longer term and may not be achieved within the campaign. What? Okay. I mean, it kind of sucks. I guess you're hinting at DLC content? Question mark. Alright, so the first up is the bonded. Sometimes two people are simply fated to cross paths again and again. A parent and a child, two lovers, siblings, twins, or otherwise. Even a hero and their nemesis. The history of the world is changed by the relationship between these two people. No matter your connection, your story weaves in and out with another, and together... No matter your connection, your story weaves in and out with the other, and together, even if your objectives differ... you complete the various required objectives. Aha. Okay. So could two people take that? Or am I to assume that, like, the person they're bonded to is, like, one of the major NPCs, probably bad guys in the campaign? That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Dude, is this all about the bonded? Jesus Christ. Where's the net? What? Alright. Alright, I'm looking for another heading. Is this all just for the bonded? Jesus Christ. Alright. The Cursed Raider. Once you were an accomplished raider with a promising future, but you had also become arrogant and overly proud. You thought of yourself as a walking legend, and your place in the halls of slain was surely guaranteed. Then you made the unfortunate mistake of allowing a rival clan's foul-tongued Skald to survive after a raiding victory. That Skald cursed you upon that battlefield. No death shall find you. As you walk all paths, across all lands, beyond and below all living things, till the wolf rises at the forever sunset. That's fucking dope. You laughed off the curse, but that evening you choked on the bones of a boar while celebrating your victory and died an inglorious death. Your clan left you on that beach in the middle of nowhere to be claimed by Hell and brought to her underworld. They mourned for you, knowing that your death was unworthy, and you would never enter the halls of the slain. Yet you returned to life the very next day. Since then you have died several more times, but you always rise again the following morning. Now you seek a way to end the curse so that you might die as a raider should and earn your place in the halls of the slain. I feel like there's going to be a line out the fucking door for the cursed raider. Like, who wouldn't want that? That's like the coolest story ever. Alright. The Fallen. You are a wanderer of the world, yet you have no clear idea why this is so. Beyond the last few years, you have no firm memory of your past life or who or what you once were. You are a Final Fantasy VII protagonist. You awoke in a deep, damp cave along the coastline of the towering Inner Mountains. The cave was situated several hundred feet above the Serpent Sea, and you spent hours climbing down. Eventually, you found your way to a small fishing village and found a place there. You have, over time, adjusted to life in Grimnir. But who are you? Where did you come from? Do you have a family? Why did you lose your memories? These questions plague you more in recent weeks as strange dreams have surfaced, dreams of another realm, another you. You sensed that you must serve a great purpose, and you yearn to discover what this must be. This is good if you like Loki, angels, or things like that. Alright, cool. That one's pretty cool. The royal heir. Your family once ruled a wealthy Bandor kingdom, and your mother was a respected and remarkable queen. One winter's day, raiders invaded your land. When your parents rode out to oust them from your lands, your family was defeated. You, the youngest of all your siblings, were taken prisoner and forced to watch your brothers and sisters be slaughtered. Since then, you have lived with the raiders and have come to accept them as your own people. They eventually adopted you, and you are no longer a thrall. Yet you have never forgotten your family or the lands that by birth are yours to inherit. Recently, your adopted family died during a raid between rival clans. You survived, but the location of your homeland was lost with the deaths of your raider family. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. Let's see. The Stranger. You were part of a merchant's caravan making its way to a bustling port in your homeland when a multicolored portal appeared. It's the Isekai origin story, swallowing you and the rest of your caravan. You emerged on a barren coast, a tumultuous sea to your north. Many of the caravan wagons were damaged or lost entirely. Having appeared in hostile waters, you and the other survivors made your way along the coastal desert, but all manner of unusual creatures assailed you. Many of your companions died, and only a few of you found your way to nowhere. You joined the community of outcasts and are now a Varang. A Varang? Varang? Guided by the town's seer, you have made a journey west to the Tower of Kekel, with the hope that its secrets might help you understand how to return home. The Vigilant One. You are the last of a powerful family that, for generations, has kept watch on the ancient woods, the great mountains, and the howling sands of the southern deserts. Were the Jotun to return, your destiny is to stand firm against them. Yet you are now alone, except for the ravens that fly across the Serpent Sea and whisper to you of all that they see, all that they hear. The time is coming, the ravens say. The time for watching ends. The time for war begins. Yet you are troubled. All your life you have suffered severe nightmares, catching glimpses of horrid creatures you presume are the Jotun. In all of these nightmares, you fight against them, and you fall. You fail. Getting some Doomed One vibes. That one. Aw, is that all of them? Aw. What the fuck? Alright. Well, okay. Let's see. Playable races. Let's see. Telemachus could take that background. There you go. Someone could play as Telemachus. There we go. That'd be amazing. Playable races. I don't really know how we're going to handle playable races. Obviously, we want to use the races that are suggested in the adventure. I guess we would just find a Pathfinder equivalent and we would reskin it, as that's the easiest solution. Let's see what we got. Beastborn. Let's see. Once an ordinary animal, living a content life in the forests, seas, or skies of Grimnir, the Beastborn became enamored with raiders, their villages, their ships, and gradually, day by day, they started to act like them and started to become them. Because Vikings need furries, too. Alright. They are incredibly curious. When the Beastborn first saw raiders in their sleek ships and clever towns, they caught a glimpse of a world beyond their forests and plains. So they just hyper-evolved? They were just like, let's be like those guys. And then they just turned into people? Okay. Let's see. Torn between worlds. Beastborn can live within either animal or humanoid communities, but each individual has never met another being similar to themselves. They have names like Bighorn, Book Reader, Drowsy Boat, Gleaming Mane, Lake Talker. Okay, that's kind of cute. Becoming a Beastborn. Oh, you can customize with points. Okay, that's pretty cool. You start with a pool of 12 beast points, working through the following sections to spend these points to acquire the features you believe represent the race you are building. The first step is to decide why you awakened and which Beastborn aspects resonate with you. Perhaps you are a boar that seeks out knowledge, collecting and reading tomes from across the world, learning as much about the raiders and their past as possible. A squirrel who wants to feel the thrill of leading a raiding party across the sea. A goat that craves to not only learn the culture of the raiders, but is excited to add to it, composing great ballads to be sung in feast halls across Grimnir. Once you have a vision in mind, start spending those points, baby. Man, I could just hear the collective gasps and squeals of the furries of our world as they realize that you could just build your own furry with this race. It's incredible. We're gonna keep going. All right. Grims. Okay. Let's see. The Grims are children of Grimnir. Okay, that checks out. Most are comfortable beneath murky lake waters in forest that no raider has ever found. Others were forced to flee their refuges, pushed out by raiders, bandior, and monsters. The Grim often form small communities that linger near, but not entirely within, existing raider towns. They fish, they mend nets, and, for coin or food, they might even sing in feast halls. Though many Grims still lament the lives they lost, the younger generation embraces the dynamic communities of the Raiders. They long to spread their music to shores far and wide across all of Grimnir. Okay. So what are you guys? Like, you're just like fey creatures? Like what's going on here? Nope, they're humanoids. But they live 250 years. They can be medium or small. Jesus Christ! Your walking speed is 30, but you also have a climbing and swim speed equal to half your walk speed, and you're amphibious, and you have dark vision. What? Okay. Anything else? Musical. You begin play with a musical instrument of your choice. Oof. Okay. Trickster. You know thaumaturgy cantrip. Primal drives. After each long rest, you decide whether you are driven by cruelty or hope. Hope gives hopeful Grims have the musician features. Cruel Grims gain the lurker features. You lose these so you have two sub races, a swim speed, a climb speed, amphibious, dark vision, and thaumaturgy cantrip. Okay. Okay. Musician. I'm sorry, I need a minute. Hold on. Fuck. Alright. If you're in your musician form, you are a natural swimmer. Your swimming speed becomes equal to your walking speed. You have a sweet voice. You have advantage when okay, on any performance checks. All right. Share the music. As an action, you may grant one willing creature proficiency with a musical instrument of your choice. You can also extend your innate ability to survive underwater to the target. They gain your amphibious trait. These features end after 1 hour, and if you end this trait early by using a bonus action. Nudge the audience. Starting at 3rd level, you can cast Sleep with this trait. Starting at 5th level, you can also cast Suggestion. Neither Sleep nor Suggestion require any material components to cast. Once you cast either spell, you cannot use the same spell again until you complete a long rest. You may also cast either spell using spell slots you have of the appropriate type, Intelligence or Wisdom, on this very charisma-handed race. Are the spellcasting abilities for these spells. You must choose it when you choose this race. That okay. Lurker, you fear for the beauty and grace of the natural world. Others want to destroy what you love, but those that try will suffer for it. When you woke up this morning, you chose violence. Ambusher, your climb speed becomes equal to your walking speed, and your jump distance is doubled. Okay. You have advantage when making stealth. Oh my god. You have advantage when making stealth checks while underwater. You also have advantage on stealth checks while on land. As long as Jesus. Okay. Inflict harm. Once per turn, when you hit an opponent with a weapon or an unarmed strike, you may inflict extra damage of the type indicated by the weapon equal to your proficiency bonus. Okay. Murky Depths. Starting at 3rd level, you can cast the Fog Cloud spell with this trait. Starting at 5th level, you can also cast Invisibility without requiring verbal and blah blah blah. Use your spell slots for it and all that bullshit. God damn, that is. I'm so glad I'm not going to run this in 5e. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, tall folk. Since the Exodus, tales of enormous men and women appearing in the forest of Turnfjall have spread. Over time, a community of these large humanoids have formed a clan of their own, the Ryza. The Ryza? The Risa? True origins of the tall folk are not known, but some say that their ancestors were originally found alone in the Great Woods, standing in the shadow of the mountain Tjörnfjall. Legends suggest that they were children stolen from a race of even larger men and women living high in the slopes of that ancient mountain. And who were these thieves that conspired to steal the children of giants? Some believe it was the Ironwood witches themselves. Checks out. Alright. They are like giants. Are you telling me that we got a large size... What? A large size race? Oh my god, what if Jeremy Crawford finds out? What are you doing? Okay. The tall folk have the following traits. You are a humanoid, question mark. Tall folk age slightly slower than humans, reaching adulthood in their early 30s and living a little past 100. That's weird. Your size is large. Your base walking speed is 35 feet. Hacha. Your larger size allows you to double the range of any thrown weapon and add +1 to its damage. Okay. Additionally, when you make a melee attack, your reach is increased by 5 feet. Jesus Christ. All clothing and armor cost 50% more to make. Breaking point. When hit, you may use your reaction to attack the opponent that damaged you. With advantage, however, using Breaking Point tires you, and your initiative is reduced by 10. Starting on the next round for the remainder of this battle. You may use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. After that, you must finish a long rest or use this trait again. Giant Ancestry. Pick one of the following sub-races, Earth or Cold. This subrace will grant additional qualities. Earthchild has advantage on stealth checks while hiding in rocky or mountainous terrain. Okay, I hope the other one is well balanced against this. Cold children get resistance to cold damage. Fucking A. they're not in any way equitable. Okay. Greetings, Pokeniner. Tuss. Tuss do in fact exist. Well, it's good to know because I'm about to read about them. Their mothers are always human, and when they are... That's interesting to know as well. The only... Let me start again. Tuss do in fact exist. Their mothers are always human, and when they are born, the Tuss are indistinguishable from other babies. The only difference that becomes apparent as they age is that they are generally stronger, healthier, and more successful, than their cohorts. Many Tuss even live their entire lives without even realizing how different they are. If they look like that, okay. Others are not so lucky. It might happen in a fight or a harsh argument. Their eyes flash purple. They land a blow too hard. The blood flowing in their veins transforms them, providing a glimpse into their true ancestry. As quickly as this transformation ends. Often the event goes without any remark from friends or family. They ignore it, pretend it never happened. They don't want it to have ever happened. But sometimes the event cannot be pretended away, and the Tuss must be dealt with. They may be ushered out of their community by the cover of night, exiled. Other times, they're killed. This is done simply because the Tuss is feared to be a Jotun. All of this is done to protect their families, for if knowledge of the Tuss ever becomes widely known, anyone close to them is at risk. What is this, like a Viking X-Men? Like, what's the fucking situation here? Alright, what do Tuss have going on for them? I'm going to steady my heart and my mind and my soul for this. You are a humanoid. You age the same as a human. You're medium. You have a 30-foot walking speed. Steadfast, as long as you have not taken lightning damage, not something I see every day, you are reduced... Okay, if you are reduced to 0 hit points, or as a bonus action on your turn, Hold on. As long as you have not taken lightning damage since your last turn, if you are reduced to 0 hit points or as a bonus action on your turn, you may spend 1 hit die to regain hit points. Roll your die and add your Constitution modifier. If you are healed by this amount, you're unable to use this feature again until you finish a short or long rest. Okay. True nature. As an action, you manifest your true nature. Your physical appearance changes noticeably. Your skin or eyes shift to an unusual color. You might sprout horns or suddenly become covered with fur or scales. Define these appearance details when you select this race. You may use an action to hide your true nature once more. While your true nature ability is active and you have the following additional abilities that no doubt makes you somewhat still weaker than a Grim. You get Dark Vision. You are powerful. When you hit with a weapon attack, you do additional damage equal to your proficiency bonus. So yes, you are somehow still weaker than a Grim. Your walking speed goes up by 5, and you have disadvantage to persuasion checks, but advantage on intimidation checks. And then where are the rest of your abilities? Where are the rest of your powers? Where'd they go? Okay. Wicker. Woven together when the world was created, the Wicker are unusual constructs. Though made from wood, they are clearly separate and apart from the natural world. They were built for a purpose, but that purpose has long been forgotten. Some believe that Mirgal created them as a jest, others that Grimnir itself birthed them, maybe even to protect the world from Mirgal himself. They are creatures without purpose. They are wooden robots. They are basically warforged that are made out of wood. However, they are just humanoids. They do not age. They're immune to any magical aging effects. But don't trees age? Question mark. You are small or medium. You choose the size when you select this race. You have a base speed of 25 feet. 20 feet of small! Oh my god. Natural armor. I'm losing it. The tight and hard coils of wood used to build you. Yeah, I know. We gotta stream Odyssey. I'm sorry, fam. Natural armor. The tight and hard coils of your wood used to build you provides a +1 bonus to your armor class. You still gain this proficiency while wearing armor, for which you have proficiency. Okay. Crash pretty good. It's like a warforged. You have several advantages over normal creatures because you are neither dead nor alive. No need to eat, drink, sleep, or breathe. You're immune to disease. Have advantage on saving throws against poisoning. You cannot unwillingly have your form altered by any spell or effect. You have aversion to fire. If you take fire damage, you have disadvantage on saving throws and ability checks until the end of your next turn. You begin play with 2 tool proficiencies of your choice. And you are built for a purpose. You are either a builder or a watcher. As a builder, you can add or remove limbs from yourself. That's probably why you have such a low base speed. 2 additional legs allow you to get a +10 to your speed. You have a tool arm. You have a shield arm. And you have a spiked or clubbed arm. Watcher. Hidden. A suspicious NPC will only notice that the Wicker is an artificial being after a minute of examination. Persuasive. Watchful. Change is inevitable. The Watcher could tear off their facade and become a builder. Okay. The transformation takes 1 minute and is irrevocable. The Wicker loses their Watcher features, and until they finish a long rest, they cannot... What? What? Okay. Wow. I'm going to say right now, hey Scarlet, I'm going to say right now that is some of the most unbalanced homebrew nonsense I have ever seen. Like, I don't even understand what I just read, honestly. Like, you've got 2 pages of build a furry workshop. The Grims have every ability you could ever want on a character and can swap them out every day. The tall folk are big. and I'm assuming resistant to cold damage, which is fucking crazy. Then you got the Tuss that basically have no abilities. The Wicker, I don't even know what to do with this. I don't know. I'm just gonna sweep all this under the rug. This whole section, yeah, we're just not using this section. Like, what we'll do is Beastborn will literally be whatever furry character you want to play. They're a Beastborn. That's done. Um, yeah. Grim, it's just going to be any Fey or Sylvan based race. That's just going to be considered a Grim. Dunzos. Tall folk, I'll try to figure out how to get a large PC set up. That's fine. Tuss, man, I don't even fucking know. Like the troll blooded from Valda's, I feel like that might be the best bet for these guys. And then the Wicker, I mean, just play a Warforged and we'll just pretend that you're made out of wood. Like I don't know what's going on there. All right. Sadly, I don't think I have time to dig into any of the other stuff here. I will say that all of the art for the class section is absolutely gorgeous. Like, just gorgeous. Looks so good. Look at that. And I know that there is a ranger that can ride on a wolf, and I guess that's kind of cool. A lot of people are excited about that. So, yeah. Let's see. Is that it? Am I at the end? Oh, no. And then there's new spells. Based on how the custom races are going, I don't even think I'm going to read the spells at this point. And then we got ships. And let's see. Alright, we got the world primer. Alright, that's cool. We got a map of a feast hall, in case you needed that. And then that is it. Huh. Alright. I would say honestly the races in Odyssey were not that bad. Nymphs were very strong, but they were not nearly as strong as the Grim in this. Not even close. The Minotaurs were very weird in Odyssey. They basically were like, you know, in anime when like they've got like cowgirls and they're just like, you know, ladies with like cow horns and big jugs. It was kind of like that. It was like you were like a human being that had horns, but like you could turn into a bull, but like you weren't actually a traditional minotaur. But then there were traditional minotaurs in the world that were like cursed minotaurs. It was a whole thing. I like the lore that I read, and I'm excited about the epic paths. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very excited about the world itself, and I'm very pleased that I have decided to run this with a different system because, I mean, I don't think that this story could be told as well in 5th edition. I feel like this is going to require something a bit grittier and a bit crunchier. Like, I don't know. I just worry that 5th edition magic is just going to come in and just ruin this whole story. But, yeah. And then I'll take the flavor of these native, you know, races that they've offered, and I'll certainly make sure that they are included in the game, but I won't be taking any of the mechanics from any of this. Like, that's not going to happen. I'm already well past like my tolerance level for 5th edition gameplay as it is, and then having this stuff come in and being as incredibly inequitable as it is, like I just can't support that. So, but I am excited about the other stuff, and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this stream, go grab something to eat, and then I'm gonna come back and do some prep for Odyssey Prime. That game's going to be at 8 tonight. So question, am I able to get a review on a singular subclass? Should only be one page. No worries if not. Unsure if there's a list or not. What do you mean? So question, am I able to get a review of a singular subclass? I mean, I'll look at one real quick, but for the most part, I feel like Pathfinder 2 we could build literally any kind of character with all the options that are there. So I wasn't gonna go out of my way to try to make any of these actually work. Let's see. Everybody was really excited about the Ranger, so let's look at the Ranger real quick. All right. The Wolf Rider Ranger. In the deep snow-covered forest, the clan of the War has existed since Grimnir's founding. Decades ago, though capable sailors, their skill in battle shone brightest when astride the great horses that formed their cavalry. For generations, they were unstoppable, though many credited their worship to the goddess Hell for their successes. They were feared among the raiders and the other peoples of the world. Yet over the past few generations, their victories have dwindled, as have their numbers. Feeding their herds became impossible, and many of their youth found their way to sea, to other clans. They eventually lost their seat in the inner council. But change is afoot in the world of Grimnir again, and it all began with the wolves. These creatures, mere legends from the lost lands, have reappeared, gifted, so it appears, by the Lady of the Dead to her most faithful of worshippers, the War. The wolves have upset the existing clan hierarchy because those the wolves select as partners are instantly elevated in the clan leadership. Newer voices are being heard as these wolf riders take their place. The wolf decides is a saying often uttered. You, as a wolf rider, seek glory for a re-emerging War clan and desire to honor Hel, the Lady of the Dead, with heroic deeds. You are part of a pack destined to never fight alone. I mean, the flavor alone is badass. Wolf Companion. At third level, a young Grimnir Wolf Companion finds you. The wolf obeys your commands to the best of its abilities and acts on your initiative in combat. Good call. It can move on its own and take reactions, but it can only take an action if you use a bonus action to command it. See the bonded ability below. If you are incapacitated, the wolf can use actions to defend you. Your wolf uses its stat block, but has hit points equal to 15 plus 5 per ranger level, and adds your proficiency bonus to its armor class, saving throws, attack rolls, and damage rolls. The wolf will regain any lost hit points during a short or long rest. If your wolf is ever slain, you must bury it as soon as is convenient. It emerges from the grave, hell yeah, restored to full health after you finish a long rest. For purposes of the wolf pack tactics ability, only you count as the wolf's ally. The wolf also gains the benefits of your land stride ability and can move stealthily at a normal pace when traveling within 10 feet of you. At third level, your wolf and you share limited telepathy with a range of 120 feet, and it can communicate its feelings and intent to you. Using a bonus action, you command your wolf to take the following actions: attack, disengage, dash, or hide. The dodge action, in addition to its usual effects, when your wolf takes a dodge action, it helps to confuse opponents attacking you. Any attack roll against you are now made with disadvantage until the start of your next turn, as long as the wolf remains within 10 feet of you. You get to bonus action dodge. Holy shit. It's pretty good. The help action. When you command your wolf to use a help action to assist you in combat against a specific creature, you improve the chance of scoring a critical hit. Any roll of 18 or higher is now a critical hit. Wow! Oh my god. Actions from special abilities as described below. Well, that's a good ranger. That's a strong ranger right there. Jesus Christ. At 5th level, your wolf grows into an adult Grimnir wolf and can now be used as a mount. Holy shit. It does not require a saddle. The time spent training together has also made the two of you more effective in combat, and while within 5 feet of one another, aka mounted, you both gain +1 AC. As long as neither is incapacitated. Additionally, while mounted, the following bennies apply. Whenever an attack misses you or your wolf, do not tell me you get a counterattack. You or your wolf can use a reaction to move the wolf up to half its speed without either of you provoking an attack of opportunity. That's, wow. Mounting or dismounting costs 10 feet of movement, not half your speed. And you have advantage to avoid falling off your mount. You and the wolf have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Okay. There's more. At 7th level, your training continues. Your wolf and you become more adept at fighting together. Your wolf's attacks now count as magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. That sounds fine. I guess we'll stop there, right? No. You can also have the following new bonus actions. Wall of Fur. Use your wolf to grant you total cover. Can't be targeted directly by an attack or a spell. What? Until the beginning of your next turn. This ends early if you and your wolf are ever within 5 feet apart, more than 5 feet apart. Combat assist. Your wolf uses its help action to assist you in combat. If you hit, the wolf may use its reaction to make a free bite attack against the same creature. Near shot. You do not suffer disadvantage on ranged weapon attacks, even when within 5 feet of an opponent, as long as your wolf is within 10 feet of the target. Can I play this? Hey Dom, are you still in chat? I know we only got one session left, but Eddie Vincent, he was actually a Wolf Rider Ranger. Is it okay if I just swap that out real quick before Wednesday? Is that okay? Just asking, you know, what's the harm in asking? You know what I mean? Dangerous Beast. At 11th level, your wolf grows into a Grimnir Frost Wolf or a Grimnir Forest Wolf. Your choice. Lethal Pack. If your wolf is using its help action to aid you in combat, your chance to score a critical hit improves to a roll of 17 or higher. What? Alternatively, if I am floored right now. Alternatively, if you use your help action to help the wolf fight, your wolf scores critical hits on a 15 or higher. I'm about to faint. Defend the pack. Starting at 15th level, if you or your wolf scores a critical hit against an enemy, you may move up to half your movement and use your reaction to attack another target within range. This feature does not expend your movement. Alright, I'm out. I'm gonna go have dinner. I can't read anymore. I'm sorry. We'll go over more of this later, but I gotta go eat. It is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. You said it. Falcon Forge Fantasy. It's just, wow. It is down. Yeah. It's something, all right. Holy shit. All right. Oh, man. Okay. Welp. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'll be back later to do some prep, and we'll be running a game at 8. Also got 2 games tomorrow, Pathfinder 2, Abomination Vaults, and we've got Cyberpunk Red, so whatever tickles your fancy, maybe check those out tomorrow night. I will see you next time.